Let's begin with the foundations. Welcome to another lecture. Today we examine Cody Gakpo, a contemporary Dutch footballer whose career offers a tidy laboratory for studying versatility, tournament performance, and the institutional pathways that turn potential into outcomes. I am Alexei, and with me is Priyanka.
Hi, and thank you. I'm excited to learn through his story because it connects numbers, choices, and pressure moments in a very human way.
To frame our discussion, Gakpo is a Dutch international forward, born in Eindhoven in May 1999. He is naturally a left winger who likes to cut inside on his right foot. Yet he has been frequently redeployed as a center forward, or even as an attacking midfielder for Liverpool. We observe a player who thrives in transition and in the half spaces, with ball carrying that breaks lines before a final pass or shot. For the Netherlands, he has delivered at major tournaments, which, in our field notes, signals both temperament and repeatable shot creation patterns under stress.
In simpler terms, he starts wide left, dribbles inside, and shoots with his right. At Liverpool, he has also been asked to link play in the middle. So, he is a scorer and a connector, depending on what the coach needs that week.
Why this matters now is straightforward. In England's Premier League, he adapted mid-season after his move in January 2023, contributed to Liverpool's record 10th EFL Cup in 2023-24, and then to the 2024-25 league title under compatriot Arne Slot. Internationally, he scored in 3 consecutive group matches at the 2022 World Cup and shared the Golden Boot at Euro 2024. Versatility, once a managerial convenience, becomes a competitive lever in condensed calendars and injury-riddled campaigns. Historically, this raises the recurring tension between specialization, which optimizes narrow tasks, and adaptability, which stabilizes squads across tactical variants.
And there is the national team layer, eligible for Ghana and Togo by heritage, but choosing the Netherlands through a full youth pathway. It shows how early institutional investment can shape senior-level identity and, honestly, tournament outcomes for multiple countries.
Basic facts. Full name Cody Gakpo. Born May 1999 in Eindhoven. Raised in the Stratum district. He joined PSV's academy in 2007 and progressed through all youth levels before debuting professionally for Jong PSV in the Eerste Divisie in November 2016. His first team debut for PSV came in February 2018, and the next season he was quickly alternating between reserve dominance and Eredivisie minutes, including coming on for Steven Bergwijn in December 2018. His first Eredivisie goal arrived in February 2019 in a 5-0 win over Fortuna Sittard. The production curve accelerated. 9 goals in 10 league matches for Jong PSV by December 2018. Then 7 goals and 7 assists in the Eredivisie in 2019-20. In Europe, he scored decisive goals in 2020 qualifying rounds, including against Rosenborg. His 2021-22 season was a domestic peak. 21 goals in 47 matches, Dutch Footballer of the Year, and the winning strike in PSV's 2-1 KNVB Cup final over Ajax. In August 2022, he hit an Eredivisie hat-trick versus Volendam. In the winter window of 2022, Liverpool agreed a transfer reported in the range of approximately 35.4 to 44.3 million British pounds, a record incoming fee for PSV at that time. He debuted in early January 2023, scored his first Liverpool goal in the Merseyside derby in February, and became a reliable piece in cup runs and subsequently a title-winning league campaign in 2024-25 under Arne Slot. He signed a new long-term contract in August 2025. On the international stage, he debuted at Euro 2020, scored in 3 straight group games at the 2022 World Cup, took a shared Euro 2024 Golden Boot, and added World Cup goals in 2026 to reach 6 overall, trailing only Johnny Rep among Dutch scorers at World Cups.
And personally, he has often spoken about his Pentecostal Christian faith. During the 2022 World Cup, he co-led a Bible study with Memphis Depay, which about 15 teammates joined. In April 2024, he and his partner, Noah van der Bey, welcomed a son. And more recently, in June 2026, they experienced a miscarriage. I think it reminds us that careers unfold alongside real-life joy and grief, and teams are communities where that support matters.
Before we get to the complexities, a brief personal note. I admire how he treats space as if it were a chessboard, probing diagonals from the left to create central threats. The moves are not flashy for their own sake, rather they are proportionate to the position. This brings us to 3 larger questions we will analyze together.
So moving on, the questions are, first, how did his early career shape his trajectory? Second, what if he had chosen a different national team? And third, what does his versatility mean for modern football and its trade-offs?
Big question 1. Early career and trajectory. We can infer that early exposure to professional minutes with Jong PSV in 2016-17 established a performance feedback loop at a manageable level of difficulty. Scoring a brace with an assist at De Graafschap in January 2017, and then assembling 9 goals in 10 matches by December 2018, created incontrovertible selection pressure for senior promotion. That is to say, he solved the reserve tier decisively, which allowed PSV to allocate him to the higher variance environment of the Eredivisie without undue risk. Next, let's explore the maturation arc. By 2019-20, he showed symmetry between goals and assists in league play, 7 and 7, which indicates not merely finishing, but also chance creation and connective tissue. European qualifiers in 2020 added clutch evidence under knockout constraints. The 2021-22 season then reads like a capstone project, culminating in Dutch Footballer of the Year and a cup final winner against Ajax. Concretely, the pattern is one of steadily rising responsibility, punctuated by proof points in high-leverage matches.
I'm curious about how his background, growing up in Eindhoven with a father born in Togo and Ghanaian ancestry and a Dutch mother, might have shaped that arc. Can we say that such a multicultural setting changed how he viewed opportunity or pressure?
It is worth noting that identity can operate as a portfolio of perspectives. Eindhoven's PSV pathway gave him stable scaffolding, while eligibility for the Netherlands, Ghana, and Togo meant there were multiple national narratives available. In practical terms, early and continuous selection by Dutch youth teams reduces uncertainty about belonging, and faith-based routines can provide cognitive anchoring under scrutiny. Together, these factors often produce what we call situational resilience, the ability to maintain decision quality when contexts change, for example, shifting from wing to center forward without loss of contribution.
Building on that, does the moment he became the first Dutch player since 1980 to debut at a European Championship suggest unusual trust from selectors, and maybe a psychological boost early in his senior international life?
Clearly, debuting at Euro 2020 in June 2021 is a strong institutional signal. It shortens the apprenticeship and, by our observation, accelerates the switch from potential to expectation. The subsequent goals in the 2022 World Cup group phase then validate that trust under global attention. Big question 2. The national team counterfactual. What if he had represented Ghana or Togo? Theoretically, the Netherlands would have lost a primary group stage scorer in 2022 and a shared Euro 2024 Golden Boot winner, plus added goals in 2026. Those contributions altered match states and tournament narratives. Conversely, Ghana or Togo would have integrated a marquee inside forward whose movement patterns could tilt close fixtures and draw defensive gravity that liberates teammates.
What factors, practically, do you think governed his choice? Was it mainly the youth pathway momentum, or style fit, or something else?
We observe three drivers. First, path dependency from under 18 through under 21 selection by the Netherlands, which normalizes the shirt and the system. Second, stylistic continuity. Since the Dutch model often deploys a left-sided forward attacking the half space, a natural translation of his PSV patterns. Third, the timing of his senior debut at a major tournament, which, once achieved, reduces the marginal incentive to switch, even if eligible. In conclusion, early investment by a federation can, to some extent, pre-commit a player to that senior pathway.
Maybe it's just me, but I also think the symbolic value of scoring in Eindhoven in 2021 for his first senior Netherlands goal must have mattered. Hometown affirmation tends to close loops emotionally.
Agreed. A hometown goal is not merely an entry on a score sheet. It is a social proof event which frequently consolidates identity choices that were already trending that way. Big question 3. Versatility in modern football. At Liverpool, he has often operated centrally as a forward or as a hybrid midfielder, while still retaining the left-sided threat. Managers value this because it mitigates injury shocks, supports pressing schemes with fluid front lines, and permits in-game rebalancing without substitutions. His cup scoring in 2023-24 and role in the 2024-25 title campaign are practical demonstrations of adaptability, creating squad-level robustness.
To shift gears a bit, what are the drawbacks? Does being good at many roles risk being judged harshly by the narrow statistics of any one role?
It's crucial to understand the versatility tax. First, evaluation noise. Since metrics like expected goals or progressive carries can dip if a player is asked to prioritize link play or pressing triggers centrally. Second, learning costs. Because switching roles requires constant recalibration of reference points, which can create short-term inefficiencies. Third, market perception, where specialized scorers sometimes command clearer narratives. However, when framed correctly, a multi-role forward can produce higher expected team value, particularly across long seasons with fixture congestion.
Can we maybe now look at how managers might optimize this? Like, is there a recipe for when to unleash him wide versus when to anchor him centrally?
Speaking of optimization, 2 heuristics apply. Against low blocks, start wide left to manufacture inside cuts and late box arrivals. Against high-pressing opponents, central usage can convert his first touch and strength into wall passes and third-man runs. Under Arne Slot in 2024-25, his ability to shuttle between lanes supported a title-winning structure. At the national level, his major tournament output suggests that giving him starting field position on the left, but permission to invade central corridors early, yields a favorable shot map without starving teammates like Memphis Depay of touches.
That makes sense. If I may suggest, future research could quantify the break-even point where positional flexibility stops helping team outcomes and starts diluting individual efficiency.
Indeed, pairing tracking data with role labels defined by touch location clusters could illuminate when adaptability maximizes win probability. It is, as it were, a question of allocating minutes to the marginally most productive role, not the nominal one. To summarize, Cody Gakpo is a versatile Dutch attacker who emerged through PSV's academy, proved himself with young PSV, peaked domestically in 2021-22, moved to Liverpool in early 2023 on a widely reported record outgoing fee for PSV, helped secure an EFL Cup in 2023-24 and the Premier League in 2024-25, and excelled for the Netherlands at both the 2022 and 2026 World Cups and at Euro 2024. Our three questions led us to early career scaffolding, national team path dependence, and the economics of versatility.
So, I guess that kind of sums it up. Studying players like him can help us design better tactical systems and, maybe, kinder evaluation frameworks for multi-role footballers. Thank you, Professor.
This concludes our lecture for today. Thank you for listening, and thank you, Priyanka. Until next time.